All right, let's check this one out from Life in Germany. Is Canadian who's living in Germany. This is her mom. Six things my mom would change about Canada after living in Germany. Let's check it out.
Boy, if I lived in Germany, I'd be rich today.
Would you? Would you? Let's see.
What if you're better?
Yeah. And we are back with my mom from Canada. Unfortunately, she's been here for 3 months, and now her trip is coming to an end.
3 months.
There have been
Nice.
on this trip a lot of good, also a lot of bad. And we're going to talk in 2 different videos about some of the things that my mom would love to bring home to Canada. And I say that because I don't think we're ever going to convince her to come move to Germany. So she wants to bring this stuff to Canada, but doesn't want to live with us here.
I mean, it depends what her family. Does she have a partner? Does she have?
But let's talk about some of the things that she loves
Financial
that she
obligations?
really
Is she retired?
wishes they had in Canada.
Well, my one thing is definitely in the grocery stores, those machines that suck up the bottles and the cans, because I was watching people picking them up and then taking them in the grocery stores and using them for groceries.
I find this would just be like a different way of doing things. Like I don't really care either way. Here we just put everything in a bag and then we print off a sticker, put the sticker on the bag and just drop it off at this place. They count everything and they just send us the money. They just e-transfer us the money. This is actually more work. I kind of prefer the way that we do it. Sorry.
It eliminates the litter, and I wish we could do that in Canada. I did a garbage pickup one weekend for Earth Day with
Wait, what about litter?
taking them in the grocery stores and using them for groceries. It eliminates the litter, and I wish we could do that in Canada.
What is she taking? Is she talking about plastic bags?
I was watching people picking them up and then taking them in the grocery stores and using them for groceries. It eliminates the litter, and I wish we could do that in Canada. I did a garbage pickup one weekend for Earth Day with a bunch of people, and I said, boy, if I lived in Germany, I'd be rich today, because people just toss their bottles and cans away without a second thought, and it could be
In Canada? Not where I live. I don't know where. Yeah, okay.
money for somebody to eat.
That's true. In Canada, actually, my brother and I, our hobby when we were little was going into the forest and collecting all the beer bottles. I don't even remember how much a beer bottle is with deposit. 10 cents. I think,
10 cents.
I think 10 cents. It's actually a little less here for the beer bottles. Yeah, it was 10 cents a beer bottle. But funny enough, she was like, why are people not collecting the beer bottles at Carnival? Because Carnival just passed here in Düsseldorf. And they were smashing the bottles, the garbage men, to suck them all up. And it's because there's so many plastic bottles and cans around that are 25-cent deposit that people are going around picking those up. And it's a lot easier to carry for hours on end when you're collecting bottles. So it's a great job for them to have. They're cleaning up the city, like you mentioned. I love the system too. I think the biggest
Did you say that people were smashing glass bottles in Germany and not returning them? I didn't quite understand. And Canada's incredibly clean. Like you're not gonna walk in the forest and find a bunch of beer bottles around or beer cans. There's no chance. There might be the odd person who's an invalid, absolute menace to society piece of crap who's gonna litter, and everybody will shame that person if they discover that they did it. But yeah, like I said, we have a system here now. It's relatively new, but so you fill up a bag with all your cans at home. You just put them in a bag as you consume your pop or your sparkling water, whatever the beverage is. And then you print out a sticker and you just stick it on the bag. You go to the store, you just drop it and go. And then, a day later, they count them and then just send you your deposit. It's fantastic.
Topic we've been discussing this time on this trip is my mom's love for Aldi, or I guess similar would be Lidl as well. But Aldi is actually worldwide.
Talking about Aldi?
Like there's Aldi in America already.
Is it
I want
Aldi?
it in Canada.
So we've been talking about this like monopoly of grocery stores in Canada. Like it's pretty much owned by the same company, like multiple different grocery stores,
Oh, that's
which means
Costco.
they don't have to price compete. They're just bumping their prices up and up and up and up and up. I like no frills in Canada
Yep.
because it's cheap, but even
Yes.
that's getting
Yes.
more expensive.
Yeah. We're here. You can go. The prices are good. The sales are great.
I think she's from Ontario. Like, we don't have no frills here in British Columbia.
I go through just because I have fun. What checking all the prices and seeing what's on sale and bringing all this chocolate and candy home for my friends.
My first job in Canada, though, was a facer, like at a grocery store. And in Germany, you probably don't even know what that means because it's not very typical here. But a facer would be someone who would bring the product to the front of the shelf so that it looks nice and beautiful. And this is very
It's
important in
psychological,
Canada.
so people
I
grab
wonder how
stuff.
Canadians would react to Aldi because you're paying this cheap price because there's no staff there to like support you. You know, there's one on cash and there's one like throwing the stock in.
I did see a young lady in the Aldi, and she was actually filling up and getting rid of the old boxes and stuff. And she was filling.
But they put it with the box like on the shelf.
Yep.
I think Canadians would be fine with it if they're going to save a significant amount of money.
And the nice thing about Aldi too is you can go do your grocery shopping.
Is that really the corollary of why prices are cheaper in Germany, though? Just because they have low numbers of staff and just... I'm confused.
But they have that little section where you have maybe some clothes or some home tools, and I like getting the
grocery
flyer
stores
and
also
bringing
have
it.
those.
It was here, and bringing it home to check out what's on sale next
I'm
week.
sorry, you guys.
We love the flyers. What else do you love about Germany?
So
The grocery stores are essentially exactly the same in Germany and Canada. Like, there's differences, but they're not huge. Like,
I buy these little bags here, and I roll
way
them up
bigger
and
cultural
put them in
differences than
my
grocery
bag.
stores.
And when I was back in Canada, they're going, "Oh, that's a perfect little grocery bag," because we've just kind of caught on to this bringing your own bags to the grocery store, which again I learned it first here.
we've been doing that for 20 years at least.
So I buy these little cloth bags, and they say Dusseldorf on them and Germany on them, and
Memories.
I use them in Canada, and they always get little comments like, "Look at that, they roll up so small. What a great idea!"
Everybody uses cloth bags. And
And
how old is this video?
So they don't sell canvas bags in Canada? in the grocery
mostly
stores?
the
What? We don't even have plastic bags anymore. They're banned. Even like the biodegradable ones are banned. All the stores say you have to bring your own cloth bag, and they usually have them to buy if you forgot to bring them. Sometimes I'll forget to bring them, and I always keep like a bag of bags. I keep a bag of cloth bags in the back of my vehicle for the grocery store or wherever I'm going. If you forget, the grocery store will sell you a cloth bag for like 25 cents. I don't know.
the big grocery bags, like Aldi has them and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you could get some places. I just carry them around
Easy
with
to
me.
carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like them. It's just such
Some
a norm for
places.
us here
I'm
that
sorry,
I
it's
found
just-
it
just
interesting that
totally-
she's constantly
Everything they're saying is not my experience living in Canada at all.
mentioning her canvas bags and how nice they are.
Just my
I
experience.
do love being able to just, right here, right across the street, going out of the house, getting a couple of fresh buns or cinnamon, what do you call it?
Französische something or other.
Yeah, the sweet stuff. That's really good, the sweet stuff.
They're good at Aldi.
Again, we can do the exact same thing here. I can go walk down the street to Dave's Bakery and get some beautiful or Steiner. Like,
And yeah, they are good at Aldi too. And just coming home with fresh buns to make fresh sandwiches every morning. I like just hopping out the door, walking up and down the street. Here in Dusseldorf, we have horses, and the castle's not far away, and it's just a very nice way.
besides the beautiful castles and old architecture, yeah, it's exactly the same in Canada.
To start your day and go for a little walk down to the Rhine.
It's
Yeah.
a lot easier, I think,
I walk
here
to the beach in
explore
5
because
minutes.
everything's so much closer, and you
Yeah.
can travel by transit, but you can also travel by foot. And in Canada, it's like anywhere you want to go, you're getting in the car.
Yes, and like you said, with your bus pass,
Not true.
you can travel all over Germany, which is absolutely amazing and would cost you a arm and leg in Canada to do that.
Also,
Wait, what did she say? That you need a car to do anything in Canada is not true. I ride my bike everywheres now.
And travel all over Germany, which is absolutely amazing and would cost you a arm and leg in Canada to do.
So she's right about it would cost an arm and leg to travel all over Canada, but Canada's also massive in comparison to Germany.
Do that.
Also, we've been having a very long debate in this household over the last weeks about daycare spots, which I won't go into too much detail about yet. maybe hopefully in the future. However, we've been looking at different opportunities. We've been talking a lot about options here, and then my mom has just fallen in love with the idea of the Waldkita.
We do have a few of them in Canada. It's wonderful. I was a little surprised when I heard that some of these daycares don't give the children an opportunity to play outside for a certain amount of time every day.
I can't comment on this because I don't know what daycares do because I don't have children. So
I do believe it is some kind of a rule in Canada that they do have to have so much outdoor time in a day, which is so important to them.
I think there's rules here too.
Yeah.
People just don't adhere to them, maybe.
The kids need that. And the nature schools, oh my God, what a wonderful idea. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. But there are kids that would just thrive on it. And I love the idea of nature schools. We have one or two in Canada, but they're very far away. So you'd have to live there to put them. There's one at Niagara, near Niagara Falls, I think. And you'd have to move towards where they are.
And we complain here because they're few and far between as well, but not like in Canada.
I definitely often see troops of children, gallivanting in the parks and out in the forest. So, yeah, I don't know. Once again, I think it's kind of like a contrived kind of point that there's this big difference when I really don't think there's that big a difference.
Like in Canada, you'd have to move. Here, you have to drive to the other end of the city, for example, at least in Düsseldorf. So not everywhere in Germany has them, but we have quite a number, I'd say, in Düsseldorf and surrounding areas, mostly closer to the nature. But those would be an amazing option for my daughter if we had the opportunity. Unfortunately, we just can't find a spot anywhere, which is...
And that's very sad. The shortage is very sad here.
Yeah, it just depends. So there are definitely negatives,
Yes.
which we will go into. We just posted a video recently about the cost of living in Germany and Canada, though, which was also a positive for my mom. However, there were also quite a few negatives on this trip, in addition to the fact that we have been very, very sick for the last few months. I just haven't been able to convince her to move to Germany.
You've been sick for a few months? That's not good. That's not good at all.
Keep working on it.
Fingers crossed. Drück die Daumen. Vielen, vielen lieben Dank. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. Und wie immer, bis später.
So they both seem like her mom seems really sweet. She seems like a nice lady as well. I just didn't really find all of their points to be accurate from my point of view as a Canadian and my experience as a Canadian. I find Germany and Canada to be very similar. There's a lot of differences, cultural differences, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of similarities too. So shout out to you, Germany. You're welcome to visit anytime. I hope I can get over there someday, and I know that I'll be welcomed, and you're welcomed here with warmth and love. We want you guys to visit. We want you to enjoy your time in Canadian nature, see some grizzly bears, experience the beautiful Rocky Mountains, and get out in onto the Pacific Ocean and explore the coasts, explore the prairies, and have a wonderful time. But yeah, I didn't really agree with any of the points in the video. Just my perspective. All right, see ya.